with a working understanding of duality should do it. So you hear the premise, not to, and then you learn about to, and then you apply not. It's very good, Pretty simple. So, not duality. All right, let's look at duality, and then greet it with not. There you go, not duality. So, this is about, instead of what you're not trying to learn, you learn about what you're not. Yeah. Hasn't it been the case that what you're not has been trying to learn? How's that gone? So we're just switching it around. Let's learn about what we're not. Yeah. And what are you going to learn about what you're not? It's dualistic. Yeah. Sometimes it takes itself to be a subject. Sometimes it's the object, back to subject, back to object. All right. What's the message? Non-duality. Not to. We didn't even get to the second page. It's all done. You can throw some illustrations in there. You'll provide all the illustrations. And the message, non-duality. The knowledge is of what? Duality. How do you greet the knowledge of duality? I'm not that. There you go. You found out what you already are by knowing what you're not. Instead of trying to know what you're not from what you're not, you know what you're not as not you, and there you go. Yeah. You'll get a sense of being established, and they'll be huffing and puffing and trying to make it go faster or stabilize or whatever. But sooner or later, you're going to get bored, and the interest is going to move off of all of your preoccupations, and it's going to enrich your day. That's all. You're never going to read a book about how to get into the moment, because you'll have a very clear understanding. It's impossible for you to be out of a moment. Yeah. You don't have to sit and convince someone, stop buying those books about getting into the moment. Yeah. There's a clear recognition you can't be out of the moment. So what's going to happen? Are you going to be interested in getting into the moment if you can't be out of the moment? Tell me. Obviously, no. Yeah. Our mental logic is like pretzel logic, but it can't bend that far. It breaks. With the understanding of non-duality, it breaks the mental logic. It can't bend its back that far to see it up its ass, so to speak. Yeah. So then it just pauses, and there you are. You sense, like Zen would say, you see your original face. Yeah. What they mean about original face is there's no face. Yeah. So you finally see your original face. So not non-duality, not to. Okay. Well, that sounds interesting. So what happens? What first claims to be the hero of not to is the epitome of to. And this is the beauty of it, yeah? Because when you dangle the bait of non-duality and what you're not goes up to grab the bait, you can really see its unworking aspects, yeah? Almost like their arms and legs that always are good at grabbing something and grasping and shit like that, but they can't realize they're a wing because they're always trying to grab and grasp. So this message pauses that, and you see they're not yours. And then you find out something, not through them, but about them. So the negation of all those activities you are calling you as not you brings about something that can't be brought about because it's already here. Yeah. So you reach and you grasp and you practice to get something, and it fails, and that's the success. Yeah. And you can see if what you're not fails, it gets frustrated. If what you are sees all the failures of what you're not, it's hallelujah. Yeah. It's that simple. Yeah. The emphasis could be on what you're not. It's a bummer you're not getting. It is. It's a drag. I put so much time in. I've gone to so many retreats. I sent someone A lot of money, not me, but a lot of money. Yep. And nothing's happening. That's the success. Yeah. This is what happened with me. I was reading this magazine. You could get it at Whole Foods as you're walking through checking out. It was a beautiful produced, and someone told me they're still out there. A Buddhist magazine called Tricycle. Very gloriously done, and there were some nice stories in there, and parables and pointers. And this one time I was reading it, and it was an op-ed by a famous Western meditation teacher. I don't remember the person's name. And he was talking about this strange phenomena he was experiencing with his oldest students. They were calling him and telling him nothing's happened. So there I am on the spiritual bus reading this magazine, A Tricycle. As soon as I realized they just gave me an incredible message, they've been practicing 20, 25 years and nothing happened. I just pulled that spiritual bus emergency brake and freaking got out and canceled my subscription to Tricycle. Yeah. Who am I to argue those people's experience? I learned from them. Yeah. So this is it. You can learn from other people's failure. It's great. But the learning is going to be from the failure, because if you succeed arriving at where you are, that's not what you are. Yeah. Not from the view of non-duality. Non-duality says being ourselves reality. It doesn't say there has to be certain conditions or a certain location or a certain time. It's got to be the solstice or something like that. It says being ourselves reality. I don't know how you can argue with that. Yeah. So if being ourselves reality is the fact, then all your attempts to arrive there, already being ourselves reality, would have to fail to be valuable to you. Yeah. Their greatest value is failing, because all the attempts to get into what you are from what you're not has to fail to be successful. Yeah. Hopefully it's already done and you're on the other side of the slope, and you could call it skiing, but you're not doing anything. You're just going with the momentum, so to speak. Just like you say you're swimming, but you're really caught in a current and you're just going with the flow. Yeah. And this informs you. You'll feel it. There's a language that is spoken and heard right around the I am. Yeah. That sense of just existing is so profound. It has a radius of influence. And when you realize all the knowledge hasn't brought you the knowledge you so richly wanted to find, that is the greatest knowledge. Like at that place we speak of in Marin City, it has, I finally understand now that I'm never going to understand. Exactly. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Now the trip. See, this is not a trip in space; it's a trip in time. Yeah. No matter how many trips of space and time you have to go through, their success is going to be failing you. And when you fall into where you've never left, you don't have a giant wealth of longing or why didn't I find this earlier? It tells you never left. It's always been this way. So that all those mental tributaries just to distract attention and interest, going from nowhere to nowhere, just gets cut at the knees. Yeah. No longing. Oh, I should have got it. No. Because when you hit this, or it hits you really, because it hits you, it tells you, I'm sure you had this, that it's always been this way. Now what we take to be us, have not been that way. And in fact, it's never going to be that way. You lose interest in the us. It's non-duality. It's not all oneness. It's non-duality. We're arriving at where we already are through negation. Because if you want to arrive at where you already are, the speedometer should not have any miles on it, yeah? And this is the form of what we're sharing is negation. You're negating all the miles, all this, all the time, and you're already right where you want to be. What? Yes. So you negate. It's like what they do sometimes with a car. They turn the speedometer around to 0. Now you get in the car, you know it's fucking old, but so you can't tell how many miles it's been on. But in this case, it works, yeah? So all the miles on the spiritual speedometer haven't accrued anything. If you have 200,000 miles on the spiritual speedometer, it doesn't mean shit, yeah? 0 is the key. So I never looked at it that way ever until I did. Yeah. And to me, it's explained everything in such a fashion that I'm not looking for any further explanation. That's a pretty good explaining. And in time, I feel it's the last answer. It stopped. Well, there wasn't a need, but the assumed need for more answers or to have an answer that amplifies the answer was completely dismissed. And in my life, as this event, non-duality was the last answer. It took away any need for any other answer. I have never met anything like it, yeah? So there you go. So failure is the success. A loss of interest is how it looks. You lose interest in trying to become a Buddha because you notice that you are the Buddha. Yeah, there you go. You may not be the Buddha how you thought it was going to look, but you are. And you are mind and you are light. Big mind, light, and Buddha. And you cannot use light, mind, or Buddha to seek the Buddha. If you do, it can go on for eons and nothing's going to happen. Yeah. I know a lot of people who have over 300,000 miles on their spiritual speedometer. I do. The car's still going. That's the problem. Yes? That's the fucking problem. So that's not a problem. It's just an extension in time. It's not a problem. So here, that's it. This is realizing you're not out of what you want to be in, and you're not in what you want to be out of. Yeah, isn't that beautiful? Did that take any time? Seeker and the Sought fulfills and fills up a lot of blog posts. Seeker is the Sought. That's it. Compresses time and space. Yeah. If seeker is the Sought, is there going to be a whole lot of seeking? Is there? If the seeker is actually the Sought, are you going to spend another second seeking? Will something spend another second seeking? Yes. And this is how you're constantly reminded about what you're not. Because when you override seeking, something will keep seeking. The mental activity is purely mechanical. Yeah. It's not AI and it cannot learn to a certain point. Yeah. This is, I feel a lot of people have had a free sample of awakeness as a natural state or inherent state, and they've disqualified themselves because something that they're not didn't show the effect of it. So they've had this huge something, yet they behave the same way when the mailman, the newspaper boy misses their porch. Yes. So the mechanicalness, there's still the belief that it's volitional, that it is you. And when you think you're going to get it, every part of you has to get it. Well, obviously, every part of you is that which you get, and the mechanical activity is not a part of you. Yeah, you may be in it, but you're not of it. I've seen people, they had a free sample that was sufficient to set a whole new attitude and outlook the rest of their life. But because of the subtle idea that the head's activity were their activity, and if I woke up, all of I must have woken up, and they get disqualified when a lot of what they call I doesn't wake up. It does the same fucking thing. Some of them become bigger assholes. So, simple message, non-duality. All right? What should that provoke? Maybe checking out duality. What's the essence of duality? Dualism. What's the dualism representing? Us. Yeah. Are you thought about? Yes. That means you're an object. Are you the thinker of? Yes. That means you're a subject. What is it? Am I hybrid? Like subject object? We're driving a hybrid Jeep that has no benefits of a hybrid. We were just trucked up Massachusetts, 20 miles per gallon. A hybrid? What does a Jeep usually get? Like 10 miles per gallon? Says you could kick it into super hybrid. You'll get 21 miles per gallon. It was a Jeep. It smelled like a Jeep. It drove like a Jeep, and it guzzled gas like a Jeep. They had the little sign on it, hybrid. I don't see it. Yeah. Hybrid. Are we a hybrid? Are we a subject object? Which is it? Oh, it's sort of like, what is it? Did you ever do the Enneagram? Remember the Enneagram? It was a Sufi way of categorizing every possible action figure. So they had basically 9 numbers, and each number would have 2 side numbers. And people would go on an Anagram retreat, and they'd go over it, and they would find out what number they were. And then at the break, everyone would be going, I'm a 4, I'm a 7. No, you're not. You found out what number you are to see that you're not. Yeah. But they added more shit. They left the retreat with more shit instead of less shit. They now they were a number 6 with a sexual 4 and a fucking something 9. The whole point was, no, I'm a 7, and therefore I'm not a 7. Yeah. I can see I'm a 7, therefore you're not a 7. Yeah. When do you get that knowledge? When did you get that direction in these programs and these processes? When did they tell you, we're going to bring all this shit up and greet it with, I'm not that? Didn't you walk away with more identification than less? Did you hear about meditation? And then you go to your first meditation, and before you hit the cushion, the head has you as a meditator already. And then the whole process is trying to meditate yourself out of what you're not in. And then the answer is, when it doesn't work, more, longer, more. And when that doesn't work, let's make hybrids. Let's throw some tantra yoga in there, throw some extreme posture holding. So it's just constantly working on a plane that can't take off. What's the value of it? It tells you you're not that. Simple. Look at being conscious right now. Are you sweating right now? To hear, to see, to feel, to taste? Are you? Are you working at it? Maybe your eyes are bad, so you need to wear glasses. But what seeing isn't bad. Yeah. Does it demonstrate any thought or effort to be what's seeing, to be what's feeling, to be what's tasting, to be what's touching? Yeah. Does it? Then why do we believe that we're going to arrive there through thought and effort, when where we want to be doesn't demonstrate any thought or effort? Don't you think that's insane? I had a guy, we lived on a property in Australia, beautiful place. And he came out of a spiritual thing, and we were in the same thing. And he rented a place for us. He had like a 2-level building. And every day around 5:15, he'd drive in like a golf cart and tell everyone to be quiet because he was going to meditate at 5:30. So he was in complete anxiety, telling everyone to be quiet so he can enjoy peace at 5:30. At what? At the expense of the peace at 5:15. Isn't that insane? If you try to get in to something you're not out of, you're giving a reality to the outer. Yeah. Just like the Course says, this is duality. Firm in actively denying what you are and firm in faith in this something else your head has made to be you. Yeah. Now maybe someone becomes aware that they're firm in faith in this head, this idea of the head that it's made to be you. But do they notice that that is also the active denial of what you are? The active denial of what you are is the faith of being something else. What are we fighting here? We're trying to arrive at where we already are because we're firm in faith in that something else that we're not. Yes? The only way out is to explain you're not in. This is not about giving you a longer rope or a longer retreat or anything. It's about cutting the rope completely. Yeah, all right. Judy, anyone has a question or a share?
Currently, no.
Hiram, you have your clothes on today, Hiram. That's good. Anyone? Nor anybody?
Okay, we've got Josh S. His hand was first. So Josh, you just need to unmute, please.
There we go. Hey, Paul, long-time listener, first-time caller. My question is, so my mom is dying in hospice right now, and I'm going through a lot of emotional turmoil, but how do I stay calm in the middle of the storm when
Admit you can stay calm. Admit you can't stay calm. And then you may be okay when you're not calm. When your mother's dying. Yeah. Yeah.
Okie doke.
You'll
Concise as always, buddy.
Roll with the punches, you know? You have to roll with the punches. How are you right now? And then take it from there. Yeah? Because this is how we fail. The head cannot stay calm. Its nature is agitated. So first of all, you're asking it to do something it doesn't have the ability to do. Yeah. So it'll set itself up to fail, and then it'll blame something, and so on and so forth. And it will be all about it. But if you just say, I'm outmatched, I can't stay calm, this is overwhelming. And then there you go. Yeah. That vulnerability will allow you to be led, the action figure to be driven by something other than the head. And you'll probably see that you do really well through this event, and I hope you remember it. That you have faced life successfully, not listening to the head. Yeah. This is how you can wean yourself off of a failed system. Yeah. So you know how it is? There's a feeling, something saying I have to be calm to go through all this. Who says that? Yeah. Just hold the space. This is more about your mother than you. Yeah. Truly. This is, let's say she's exiting. Yeah. Hold the space. Just be there. Yeah. And don't get overly concerned about you, at least to the point she passes away. So she can have all the space that she could need right now. Yeah. And you're going to be the bearer of that space. You'll be serving your mother. Incredibly. Yeah. Wouldn't you like to have someone there, maybe when you're going somewhere? They don't have to say a word. It's the presence. So don't let your head distract you from the real service, which is to be of service to your mom. Yeah. And see how she's doing. Yeah. That's what I would say.
All right. Thanks, Paul.
Yeah. Take it a second at a time if you have to.
And I came all the way from Australia to Marin to see you, and now you're in
Oh, my friend, I
Pennsylvania.
didn't recognize you. I'm looking at a different screen. Well, I'll be home Monday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if your
I'll
number's
try-
still the same, I'll give you a
What?
call on WhatsApp.
I have the same phone number. Yeah.
We'll try to hook up next week
Oh,
then.
good, man. Good to see you.
All right. Thanks,
I
Paul.
barely see you. I have to look at another screen.
Let me move around and
All right.
well,
See you.
there's no me that you're seeing, so
Yeah,
it's
I
fine.
had suspicious it was the ghost of Josh.
Yeah. The ghost of Josh has passed. Thanks.
Okay.
I'll shut up now. Let someone else talk.
All right. I've known Josh a long time.
Okay, David Lowe, you just need to unmute.
Hey, Paul.
David Lowe.
Yeah, I got a question about, so I'm trying not to buy into my story. So, I'm David Lowe, born in Rhode Island, went to Duke University, And then I ask myself, so who believes that story? Right.
Yeah.
And I find that the entity that believes in that story is just like a deeper, more subtle part of the story.
Yeah.
Like profound sentiments that I learned growing up from my parents, all of which amount to a really profound nexus of thoughts that for me amount to a kind of bliss, from all my meditation and so forth. That's the real David Lowe. But that's just, my assumption is that that's just a more subtle conglomeration of thoughts and ideas. And I guess they're subconscious. How do I maybe talk about that in terms of not identifying with subconscious thoughts or something? Because I don't know. It's just
again, David, there will be an identification with subconscious thoughts. That is not you identifying. So this is one of its main traps. It has you taking this to be it, and then you try not to be it. It doesn't work. So, yes. Yeah. You know what I mean?
So, wow. Maybe if you could unpack that, that'd be great.
Oh, I can't now. I lost it already. But it's just stepping back a little farther. Not stepping forward, but stepping back and see you're not that which is afraid of being identified with the subtler thoughts. Yes? See, a lot of times one not that doesn't suffice, because then it changes, it puts on the second face and now is representing you. So you recognize the first face, and now you're recognizing the first face from the second face. Yeah. So this is like the policeman thief thing. So it's more of a not you, not that, not just one, not that. Yeah. And after a while, you don't say it. You just know that after the first claiming, there's going to be a second claiming. Yeah. And if you have become aware of self, what's going to catch you probably will not be the first claiming, but it will be the second claiming. Yeah. Because you'll slip into the same glove that's saying it's coming from a different hand. Yeah. But it's the same glove. Yeah. There's, in a way they use the policeman thief thing where, you recognize what's the culprit and then you send its brother to arrest him. Yeah. Yeah. So that's the point, the policeman thief. So yeah, just see that that which is afraid to be identified as whatever is not you. And there's a point that's going to stop. And then there's just whatever you want to call it, presence or void or emptiness. But see, the point is, if you believe you're in a house, there's always going to be a doorman. Yeah. And that doorman and the one that's in the house and the doorman are the same thing. The one that's in the house is never getting out of the house. Yeah. You are never going to get it. With all your subtlety or nothing, you, as a long-lasting, independent, separate thing, is not getting it. There's no way in hell. It can't be that. It can be the slickest character in the world. It's still defined by the program. The programming isn't infinite. It doesn't have giant garage doors into the void. It's very, very defined. And that aspect is never going to expect what's producing the aspect. This is what you get. You're never going to get it. Yeah. You're never going to see it quick enough, and it's never going to be claimed again. It's always going to be claimed. Yeah. But now you notice that it's always going to be claimed. Yeah. So the head claims, and then it gets pointed out, then it claims again. You just don't fall for the claiming. Does it change? Probably not. Yeah. Does it still want to get out of what it's not in? Definitely. Is it ever going to learn? No. I took it as far as I could with addiction. All the head did when it was proven to be completely a failed system, just backed up and got in another vehicle. Yeah. It never gave up the escape. It just got in another vehicle, spirituality, drug addiction, everything. And it went pretty far where I sit, and I don't think it has the ability to get it. I just don't. Yeah. So I lost interest in following its little fucking activities because they don't go anywhere. See, the hope was I was going to get it someday. That hope has been completely extinguished. The head still has it, but something wherever I am doesn't. Yeah, it's completely locked into this moment because there's nowhere else I can fucking be. Yeah, and what's also saying it's here and having all the opinions doesn't matter. Yeah, that which is appearing in the moment cannot get out of the moment. Yeah. So if all of its conversations is about leading to getting out of it, it can't get out of it. So I'm not interested in its conversations. Yeah. Its next master plan to break out. It's the building of the prison. It's not in the prison. It is the prison. Yeah. You're not in a prison. It's the prison. Yeah. It has a yard, but it doesn't go infinitely. It has ceilings, but they're pretty low. It's just the way it goes. Yeah. You're not going to get out of it. Hallelujah.
I'm half understanding everything you're saying, which is marvelous. Thank you so much. Oh my God.
Well, you'll feel it. That's the point. And then the understanding comes later. You already feel it. When you have an aha, that's not anything new. An aha is recognizing something that's already recognized. An aha, the information's already there. It's pinging off the I am. It's not trying to locate the I am. It's pinging off the I am. It's so fast. It's an aha. Yeah. Nothing grabbed it or got there. It was just aha. Yeah. Because you know already. Not that you that's wanting to know. You know. Yeah. And we're just letting a little bit, it's sort of like an infinite plant would only probably need 1 drop of water. It's just 1 drop. Yeah. Boom. So, yeah, we're just going to starve the fucking beast. Yeah. Disciplining it hasn't worked. Domesticating it hasn't worked. Becoming its amigo hasn't worked. Including it with everything hasn't worked. How about losing interest in it? Yeah, I think it works. Yes. And it cannot lose interest in it. It can't. It can say, oh, I've lost interest in this aspect. No, because that aspect is as of it. Yeah. It doesn't lose interest. It gains interest. Yeah. But there is, we, as whatever we're not, or truly are, I mean, can lose interest, because I've seen it. I've seen the migration from interest that was enslaving me to this mental preoccupation, now enriching me on this Saturday. Yeah. It doesn't have, there's no canals that have to be built. I don't have to lay a huge amount of pipe to get to the source of water. It's readily available right now, right where I am at all times, with no requirement necessary. Drink up. Yeah. Not as if it's going to be gone, but when you're fucking thirsty. Then swim in it when you're not, or something else. Yeah. Yeah. So I can only say what's going on. So this is what's going on. One thing this is, people trigger stuff in where I am, but I didn't steal any recipes from anywhere. I just listened to satsang, and it produced a lot of reverse engineering. Yeah. And I saw the pitfalls, what happens when we hear satsang from what we're not. And when you hear all the old parables, I guess at that point, that was all that it took, to see the image of the old lion, you, in the water, and you recognize you were a lion. No matter how many years you thought you were a sheep, as soon as you saw the image, that was up, and that's the end of the parable. Right now, where we are, I think we need warnings, because that sheep programming kicks in as soon as the old lion splits and you're not at the pond to constantly look at the image. Yeah. A second or two later, you're now a sheep that had an incredible lion experience. Yeah. I think that is more important than the message you're a lion. I do. Much more important, because the message you're a lion is true. You're a lion. Yeah. This doesn't need to be that much added. What needs to be added is the warnings of how the mental activity is going to react to the sense of being a lion. It's going to take it as an experience the sheep had. That's what it's going to do. And you're not going to teach it to do it otherwise. That's the programming. Yeah? You're not going to convince the sheephead believes it can become like a lion. It can experience lion, but it definitely does not believe it is a lion. It believes it is a sheep. Now, if you want to swim up against that fucking programming, be my guest. I much rather see the innate failure of it and lose interest and just fucking move on. Yeah. And let it have a life of a sheep as much as it wants. Look at sheep YouTubes and sheep everything. I don't care. It's actually better. It's better if it's absorbed in itself, so I can live on, a half hour away from it in another space. Yeah. Yeah. Loss of interest, failure is the greatest success. You're never going to get it. You're never going to have it. You're never going to lose it, because you are it. Yeah. If the seeker is the sought, where are you going to notice the difference there? It's in the seeking. Yeah. It's going to drop, because you have realized the futility of looking for what you are with what you are. I hope you're already past there. Yeah. And just let it be final. There's not going to be a super amazing thing that's going to trigger an unsuspected resource fuck it. It doesn't work. Yeah. I want to be in the stars. Well, you're on curb height. You're in dog shit level awareness. Yeah. You're lucky you can see over the curb. But I'm from the stars. Yeah, well, you got a lot of shit on your shoes.
I love it.
Let's just see what's going on. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank
Oh,
you.
you're welcome, though. Thank you for sticking with us all these years. All right. Judy?
Hi, Nor. All you have to do is unmute.
Hey, darling. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Doing well. Doing well. Got a plate. So, hi all.
So you might know Nor.
So you already got up to the Berkshires and back, huh?
Yes.
You're back in Dover?
I'm back at a lake near Dover.
Nice.
I can't pronounce it, so I don't say it.
Yeah.
It's an Indian name.
So yeah. So how did the Berkshires go?
How did it go?
Yeah.
Good. Very nice. Nice to see people, and it was more recovery, and we escaped quickly out of town.
That was the Jeep hybrid experience. That's pretty funny, a Jeep hybrid.
It didn't work really well. The windshields didn't work in the rain.
That's no fun.
It had huge tires though.
Had to fix the door.
Yeah. There's a lot of Jeeps in New Jersey.
This thing about time and how it happens and when it happens, I've been thinking for months now. I wanted to say to you, it's like it's so out of time. It doesn't take any time to be here. Doesn't take any time at all. In fact, what it takes is, if it takes anything, it takes an understanding that it takes no time. And that understanding does seem to be, there seems to be something in us. The psychologists call it agency. Some people call it intentionality, even will. And it's not a will that has anything to do with free will or making decisions or whether it's determined or not. It's something deeper than that just is. And that just is here. And that's the problem. It sounds like a paradox to people when you talk about it, however many ways you talk about it. But there's no getting to it because it's here. But there is something that grows in experience in that. And I think I've heard you say something like that's happened to you over the years too.
Well, let's say the action figure gets marinated.
Yeah.
And
yeah. It's like it
doesn't
likes being calm better than it likes being too active. So it just kind of slides in a direction of calm, whether it likes it or not.
Well, you can see, like Shakespeare said, much ado about nothing. Yeah?
Right.
So we're huffing and puffing, and the houses we want to blow down are going to disappear shortly anyway. Yeah. So, yeah, all of our enemies and our big battles they're all going to die on their own. They don't have to be killed. There's no vanquishing or destroying. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That's all.
Yeah.
Just look, if when you're doing something you like, it goes quickly. When you're not doing something you like, it goes super slow. Do you think there's something called time, or is it an aspect of the dreaming? I would say it's an aspect of the dreaming.
Right.
Yes. You don't believe this is dreaming? Why do placebos work as well as the medicine? How's that? Why does the salt pill work as well as the $800 cancer medicine? This is dreaming. This isn't a real place. It's a projection, and we are at the point of the projector. We play a role, so to speak, the tripod. There's a projection, and then there's a perception. Our head starts at the perception point of view. Our big M mind starts at the projection point of view. So the mind is dreaming, and the dreamt is seeing the dreaming as if it was real, or as if it's real. Yeah. So we bump into bumper cars, and we get incredible desire to avoid all bumper cars, and you realize you're a fucking bumper car. So you can't avoid bumper cars. And you just sort of, you come to peace with a lot of shit you said you'd never come to peace with. Yeah. I truly believe you're not getting out of here. Not as you're held or thought about. No fucking way. Yeah. If it's like a helium balloon, the only way where it can exist is with helium. Yeah. This is not an infinite void of helium. The appearance of a body only appears in a dreaming of a body. It's not going to be able to escape the source of its seeming appearance, which is a dreaming. Yeah. This is where it flips you out when they believe there's like golf courses in heaven and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mint juleps at every hole. It's like, what would heaven be like for a body? That ain't heaven.
The one that's even funnier, I was hanging with some people that believe in pre-birth planning last week. To get out, pre-birth planning. So can you imagine how like some people are planning on going to some sort of heaven or doing what they're going to do after they're dead, deciding what they're going to do before they get back.
There's going to be people who now are going to sell the services of being a consultant for pre-birth planning.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
they make
so
money out.
Someone else to advise you about what you should do with the pre-birth. This is the dream upon dream. The head wants to be out of itself, but it wants to be there to enjoy it.
Yeah.
This is all the dreaming of the head, like pre-birth planning or what. Well, this is all fucking magic thinking. It's like, if you looked at it, it would be like claw marks on the door it wants to escape out of.
That's good.
Claw marks and claw marks and claw marks because it can't get out. Yeah.
Do you remember that movie, Go Ask Alice?
No, I don't.
It's a contemporary for us. I saw it a lot when I was a kid. It was funny because it was supposed to be an anti-drug movie, but it ended up kind of being, maybe I should take this just to see what it's like movie. But this girl ended up in a closet, and that's, on LSD, so she didn't harm the baby she was taking care of. And it was that whole claw mark thing, bloody claw marks, trying to get out of the closet.
Well, yeah, see, the beautiful thing is the head is trying to escape from an imaginary place. And part of the imaginary place is filled with appearances of bodies, which it is appearing as. And it believes that it can leave the appearances of bodies as a body and enjoy a life as a body. It's just, don't you see? Don't you see?
What's fun about that?
See how, don't you see in that?
Yeah.
It's never going to stop, I tell you. I tried tons of ways. I hit a point where I believed because I could overdose. I knew how to overdose on cocaine. If I overdosed, there would be a period of time that I would be free from the head, but as a body. And it was only going to be 30 seconds. And it seemed like there was a willingness to kill myself, so I could just have that experience of being a body free from the head. Yeah, it's insane. There was no talking fucking logic to it. It was just a drive. And I was willing, I overdosed on purpose. Luckily, in my situation, being on cocaine for a few days, I could not put the needle in my arm. I needed someone else to do it. And they would never push the plunger all the way. So I never got the shot as big as I wanted it. So I would come back and I'd be super pissed because I hadn't escaped. And so I'm very clear, this ain't escape going anywhere. Yeah, whatever.
Flatliners. Did you ever see Flatliners?
Nah, yeah, well,
Yeah.
we're not going to go into this. All right, Noah, thank you. We're gonna, let's see what we're doing. Is this
See
over
you in
now?
2 days.
Anyone else?
No more hands right now.
Oh, let's say goodbye, because I got to do another talk in a little while, and a live thing. So, I've been talking about 9 times a day here. I'm ready to start throwing stones. You know? Go back to the old Zen teacher with the stick. I'm ready. I can just hit somebody in the head. Yeah. First, I'd hit myself in the head, and that would give me the right to hit you in the head. Yeah. All right. John in Florida. I'm so happy to see you, man. Thank you for
Excuse
hanging
me,
out.
Mr. Zen. I have a question.
Yep.
So, like, is it like weird for like your uncle? Yeah, like he went to like rehab and stuff, but like he only went to rehab because he like drunk in the bathtub. Is that like it was like really bad, like
I can't
whiskey?
hear you. Who's this?
Mine's Craig.
Craig. Hold on. So what happened?
So like my uncle went to rehab because he used to drink in the bathtub, and like his sister found out about it, so she had to drive him there because like he was like so like almost passed out from all the alcohol, and he had to like stay in rehab for like 5 years.
5 years. Yeah. How is he now?
He's getting a little bit better, but he used to sneak like meth in the. I don't know how he did it.
Oh, well, I don't know what to say about that, but thanks for sharing. I think maybe we have these meetings about recovery twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 10:30 Pacific time. Come in there, bro. Yeah, it's more under the banner of the meeting. All right?
All right.
All right, thank you.
You too.
All right, anyone else? No? Okay, I'm going to start saying goodbye then. Hey, John in Florida, as I said, thank you so much. Oh, here's Gio. Gio, nice to see you, G. All's well? Oh, good, good, good. I got to see, look at it. Walter. No, this is who from Texas? What's that one?
Is it?
Yeah.
Vivian?
I can't see that.
Vivian Yu.
Oh, Vivian Yu from
Northeast
Texas.
Texas.
Well, welcome, Vivian. We got Matt. I know Matt. Nice to see you, bro. All's well? Oh, great, great. Kerry, Hawaii, David Lowe. Always a pleasure when you drop in, David. We got a new. Nice to see you, honey. I'll be home Monday. Come on up soon. I've got a big head, a big Buddha head waiting for you. There's Amelia. There she is. Nice to see you. She's the breadwinner. She's got to go to work. Take care of the old man. Yeah. You look great, Amelia. Yeah. Eric, as always, nice to see you from Vista. Tomas, our friend from Poland. Yeah. They must have a blackout. I barely can see you. Yeah, there he is. Nor, as always. We got Rose, Lynn, Young. Have I met you, Rose? Nice to see you. Roman, I've met Roman many times. Always a pleasure, Roman. How's Barbara, all right? Oh, good, very good. Let me see. I swung it to something else. We got Holly, Jules on vocal, Kim, Andre, Bernd, I think, Oliver from Berlin. I think we got it all. I think I got everyone. Hey, nice to see everyone. We'll be back on the regular schedule starting Tuesday. Tonight we have a talk and tomorrow night, but they're going to be